What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we are finally returning to Power and Revolution, the United States of America, Episode 7. I am truly sorry for those who have been waiting for this episode to come out because of the hiatus that I have been on, and just as a couple of explanations, I'm really sorry for the absence that I've been having on my YouTube channel. I finally hit a quarter of the way to 10,000 subscribers. I have 2,510 subscribers according to YouTube. It's for some reason they don't show specifically how many subscribers you have, so I have no idea where I am anymore. But I do know that I have 2.51 thousand subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all so much for subscribing. I'm going to try and balance out my election content as the 2020 election starts to ramp up. And as a side note, we are going to try and continue Power and Revolution. So guys, welcome back to the United States. I am going to go ahead and look at a couple of things throughout the U.S. economy. We are still sitting at a negative 1.01% GDP deficit today. We're going to go ahead and try and see what we can do to solve that. I do believe we may actually lower the company tax by 1%. We are making about $403.5 billion off of that. And then at the same time, we could also increase the tax on petroleum and energy products in order to actually try to get electric vehicle production up and running. Which actually, if we actually come over here, let's go ahead and check our numbers on that. 1.4% of the U.S. Automobile industry is run by electric vehicles. I've actually gotten that up as high as about 20% in another game. I haven't played this game in a while, so this is actually going to be the first time. I'm a little rusty, but I still remember. So bear with me on this. So cars per capita 0.8. We think we actually do have the highest out of all of the other countries in the world. Yeah, closest one that we have is New Zealand. Even though it's kind of a cheat for New Zealand. Let's go over to immigration. Let's go ahead and see what our immigration situation is like. 2.1 million illegal immigrants are in the United States. We can actually start on a deportation operation on that. Go ahead and start sending out a lot of these illegal immigrants that are in the country illegally. That did net us a negative 4% loss in our popularity rating. We are also dealing with riots in Washington, D.C. So we're going to go ahead and go over there, and we're going to just send in the military, send in the bulldozers. Obviously, that's just something that we don't want to deal with right now. Bulldozers are heading in. We have a bunch of people going around. Okay, we lost a lot of popularity off of that. Protests are over, and I actually just saw this victim compensation at nearly $8.37 billion. I'm going to go ahead and put that at $9.5 billion just because of, for some reason, it's not giving me the exact amount. And every time I give it the exact amount, it always tells me you have not done this, and then you lose popularity over it. So go ahead and prepare for the protests in the next 2 weeks, because we are going to be dealing with a lot of protests, especially because of that deportation operation. Deficit just jumped to 1.15%. I think in the last episode, yeah, we are... Oof, what's going on? Ooh, space research. Hell yeah. Right out the gate. Okay, Osiris. That's fine. We are still dealing with a drug epidemic in the United States right now, except compared to the world, we actually are doing pretty good, except that Montenegro has a 33.6 out of 100. Wow, that's terrible. 33.5% of the Montenegrin population is drug addicts. I want to know what they're addicted to, though. I'm going to go ahead and put this at about 605,000. And then we are also going to fully fund the drug task force. We're going to go ahead and pump about $5 billion into our police sector, public safety, highway patrol, cybersecurity. Let's go ahead and put that in. And then get rid of this song while we're local district police. Let's go ahead and give them more funding. 5.5. 1.125% deficit right now. What is our energy production looking like? Energy surplus. Do we have nuclear plants? Yes, we have 10. We got about a couple nuclear plants under construction. We're going to go ahead and try to get those done, because we are losing a lot of electricity right now. Earth overshoot day. Let's go ahead and carry out a sabotage. Congratulations. And I believe that is because of escorted back to the borders. 435,000 people have left the country. And let's go ahead and send in the police to disperse these sit-ins right here. This discovery will turn the world upside down, Mr. President. We will be able to profit from it as well. All the other countries, for it belongs on the public. Huh. I guess countries are able to patent it now. I've never seen a country patent it before. Let's go ahead and read what's going on in paper. It's talking about sit-ins. Go ahead and ignore all that. See what our environmental spending is like. Then we need to go ahead and deal with that deficit right there. Tax on industrial pollution. Let's go ahead and increase that. Put us at 0.71. You just slowly increase that. I'm going to go ahead and get it to 1%. And right now, I think we just need to go ahead and get our power plants to actually come online. And probably try to see if we can actually get a cap on our energy consumption. I'm actually going to hold off on getting the electric vehicles up and running because of how much that actually sucks up our energy consumption. Especially right now, let's go ahead and look at our output. Goal 12,000. We can get rid of another 2,000 of those. But I really would need to like spend the living shit out of my nuclear plants, especially 3G. Geothermal, we have 77 geothermal plants, 319 biomass. Solar, I don't know if solar was ever fixed. Let's go ahead and build a solar plant in South Texas. Because before they updated this game, I actually, let's go ahead, 2.07, 2 terawatts, that's good. Is that in terawatts? Yeah, it is terawatts. Okay. Before they updated this game, like, these things would produce upwards of like 20 terawatts, and I would just flood Texas and California, southern Texas and southern California with these solar plants because they were so profitable and so lucrative that they were just the best things to invest in, probably over nuclear, because they were a lot cheaper than nuclear. I'm going to go ahead and place 2 oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico. I was actually able to get probably over 5,000 terawatts or gigawatts, 5 gigawatts of power just by investing in solar plants. I had upwards of over 100 solar plants, and I would just continuously just try to invest in them. Uranium. Let's go ahead and invest like $250 million into production, increase their production a little bit, and we could exonerate it. What's our income tax off of it? Go ahead and exonerate that from federal taxes. Natural gas. I've done this before to where I've actually gotten production higher than consumption. However, the trade balance never really changes. What I could do is I could sign a contract with a country, probably Russia or maybe Iraq or Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is usually a really good trading partner whenever it comes to natural gas and oil. Mostly because they're just so cheap. Actually, it's not even just Saudi Arabia. It's any OPEC country. An advantage between Saudi Arabia is that OPEC kind of like shifts their prices all over the place, but whenever you get them, they're usually the cheapest on the market. Russia, however, actually probably sometimes has cheaper oil prices, and they don't fluctuate as OPEC does. So whenever you actually negotiate a contract, you're actually going to negotiate it at probably sometimes at a lower rate than you would be buying from Saudi Arabia. But mostly out of roleplay reasons, as the United States, I don't like to negotiate with Russia unless I really don't care. Mostly, again, like if you were a European country, yeah, importing oil from Russia is going to be the best thing. But as the United States, usually importing oil from Russia isn't the most realistic thing. As is, I mean, I say that, but then also like the United States and China buy so much from each other. And speaking of, what is y'all's opinion on a lot of this stuff going on about China and Blizzard? Honestly, in my opinion, Blizzard should not, and American companies should not be prioritizing, they should not be prioritizing their money, Chinese money, over like actual human rights. And mostly this is all centered about Hong Kong. Hong Kong has been going through a lot of political turmoil in the past couple of days, and actually past couple of months, because of just China trying to enforce their rule while at the same time trying to abide by that 50-year contract that they have with the United Kingdom, that they would respect Hong Kong rights, freedom of the press, freedom of everything, similar to British and United States systems. And I just don't know. I don't know why these American companies just try to appease China. Try to appease people like Winnie the Pooh, who obviously are trying to become the next Mao, and he's very successfully doing so. And yeah, I know his name's not Winnie the Pooh, that's just a meme. But honestly, I don't have a lot of respect for Xi Jinping. And with what's going on there and with how he is dealing with it, I don't want to respect Xi Jinping, because he's a tyrant and he's trying to, I honestly do believe it's probably going to end up the same as Tiananmen Square in 1989, or otherwise known in China as another normal day in China. But what are you guys' opinions on Tiananmen Square, on Hong Kong, on Xi Jinping, on just China in general? What is your opinions on what is happening in the People's Republic right now? Otherwise, let's go ahead and go over to Army. Let's go ahead and increase our career soldiers by about 5,000. And then, okay, come on, you bitches. It's always the pacifist. Always the pacifists. Uprising in Washington, Sudan. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Sending in the army. A heavy fine. I don't even remember. I wish Everson would like add a feature to where they would actually like do something to pay attention to these guys. Not pay attention, but like so you know who that person is, because most of the time they don't even do anything. It just kind of like says, "Oh yeah, well, do you want to cover this up because you're a dumbass?" And we're 1 year away from the 2020 elections. Let's go over to forest fire in California. Yeah. I think I've seen it there for a while. Industry, victim compensation estimated at nearly $5.96 billion. Let's go ahead and give them $6.5 billion. Follow up. Seriously? Okay, see, this is what I was talking about earlier. It literally said that victim compensation was at like $7 billion, and then now it jumps up to 13.5. So law on industrial pollution. Let's go ahead and give them $5 billion. Summit meeting. We will not set up any debt reduction. See, that's the other thing, is that they never set up debt reductions unless, I mean, I've never really gone through and like tried to negotiate with all G7 members beside China and Russia. But France, the UK, yeah, go ahead and cover that up. Georgia, yeah. Minimum age to get a driver's license. It's good. Speed on trunk roads. I don't know what a trunk road is. Official congratulations. Even if we do not encourage the special operations of foreign agents in our country, our nations can only rejoice at this result of this initiative, which will contribute to improving relations between our two populations. Let's go ahead and accept Guatemala. Yeah. Oh, damn it. That was Beijing. I should have said no. There's a nuclear meltdown in Armenia. Unfortunately. Let's go ahead and watch over the situation in Los Angeles. Make sure this is gonna... Yeah. Cabinet, Parliament. Oh, yeah, that's because I was like, what? How come my house is split? Then I was just like, oh, wait, no, that was because of I didn't have to go through the midterm elections anymore. Growth is at 5%. Awesome. Currency, inflation is at 2.83. It's at a healthy level, and it's kind of actually leveling off. So I think we're good on that. Let's go ahead and check over what our global menaces are going through. 25.1 from fossil fuels. So that's going up. That's bad. 24.2% is coming from forestry. 8.2, 8.5. So it's actually going down for ground transportation. Industry is going down. Other energy sectors is going up. And again, Nuclear conflict. Nuclear conflict is always so weird because it kind of jumps up and down, even whenever it's kind of feels like it's nothing happening. Overpopulation. The world population will be 11.5 billion people by 2100. Current world population is 7.7 billion. So that is going up. So this is a bad measure for that. Global unemployment is at 6.93%. Dietary risks is at 74%. Ocean acidity is at 6.49 pH, which is going up, which is pretty bad. Extinction of animal species is going down. That's very, very good. Trends is going down. Causes of it is global warming, ocean acidity, atmospheric pollution, which atmospheric pollution is dropping down. Let's go back. And deforestation, again, is going down. We can actually get that under 4 million. Huh. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can do that in the next episode. Climate refugees, 458 million by 2100. As of right now, we are projected to have 400, or at the beginning of the year, we were projected to have 472 million. Natural disasters, number of deaths due to extreme climatic and ecological disasters, 37,000, up from 36,000 flat. And estimated annual cost of repairs is up by about $4 billion. Then world hunger, we have 823 million starving people in the world right now. This is caused by global warming, natural disasters, social inequality, and overpopulation. Let's go ahead and check on social inequality, which part of the 1% richest in the world's wealth contain 50% of the world's wealth. So all of the 1% contain 50% of the world's wealth. So that kind of just jumping around between like 50 and 49%. I think one of the ways to actually stop that is by taxing the living shit out of rich people. So, I mean, we can come over here to income tax and we can put that at about 50%. And I don't know if it's actually connected to where the richest 1% is. So I really don't know. What else are we looking at? Cybercrime is down. It actually got as low as 15,000. Now it's over 80,000. But from the beginning of the game, it is actually going down. Cost of cyber attacks is actually still going down. $469 billion at the beginning of the year, and now $314 billion as of now in September 2019. So these are our projections for this episode. If you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, I'm actually going to go ahead and try to get back on this series because I know you guys have been missing it. So welcome back to Power and Revolution. I'm going to try and get more of this done. My live streaming effect is still down. I am not going to be able to live stream until December 11th, December 12th of 2019. So unfortunately, you guys will not be seeing any live streams from me. Go subscribe to my Twitch. I will put my Twitch in the description below, so you guys can follow me there. I probably will be live streaming some War Thunder over there. So in any case, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will see you guys there.